Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. I'm one of your hosts, Iris, and today I will be exploring a topic that affects nearly everyone in the workforce, and that's mental health at work. We're going to be talking about the areas that are often overlooked but deeply connected, and that's burnout, boundaries, and balance. These aren't just buzzwords, they are real experiences many of us face. Whether you're someone who loves your job but finds yourself drained, or simply trying to juggle work and life responsibilities without losing yourself in the process. If so, this conversation is for you. So let's take a deep breath together and dive in. And let's talk about burnout. Burnout is more than just being tired, it's a prolonged stress at work that leaves you mentally and emotionally and physically depleted. Some of the common signs of burnout includes exhaustion that your sleep doesn't fix, feeling detached, cynical, or resentful towards work, a noticeable decline in motivation, creativity, or focus. Let's look at some reflection questions today. When was the last time you were energized and excited about work? And if it's hard for you to remember, burnout be knocking at your door. Example: think of a nurse working a 12-hour shift during a shortage, or an employee in corporate who's expected to answer emails at midnight. Over time, the constant pressure will build up. Even the most passionate worker will feel empty. Why does burnout happen? Burnout happens due to lack of control over your workload, unclear expectations at times, a culture that glorifies being overworked, and no time for recovery. These are some things that cause burnout to happen. And we know that if lack of sleep, don't have any control over your work load, unorganized, people unclear about expectations, what needs to be happening, and a society or a culture that glorifies people being overworked, of course burnout is on its way if it's not already there. So the takeaway from burnout is it doesn't just affect you, it affects your relationships, your health, and your ability to show up fully in the areas of your life. The first step is that we have to recognize it. And that's what I had to do personally. When I realized that it was affecting my presence in the home and my health, and I wasn't really fully myself, I said, I'm about over this. And like I said, this was years ago when you're not very, you can't remember being excited about what you was doing, about your job that you thought you was passionate about. Burnout came knocking so quick because I was overworked and I did not set those boundaries for myself. So let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries are like guardrails that keep you safe on the road of the work life. Without them, you're at risk of veering off into resentment and being overwhelmed. And I often say burnout gives you signals just like your body gives you signals when you're not feeling well. We choose to ignore those signals at times. I know in the previous episodes we talked about how our car alarms us, give us signals when we need oil change, the filter needs to be changed, whether the tires need to be rotated, and what do we do? We take it to the mechanic, to get those things fixed. The same with our bodies. When we be like, my body is off. I'm not feeling well. So we contact our primary care physician, set appointments to go see what's going on with us. The same here with burnout, setting boundaries, and having balance. Our body tells us that we're there. It flags go off. And some, like I said, sometimes we ignore it. We be like, oh, we got a couple more miles before I need to really address anything. When the whole time your boss may have been overworking you and you keep giving the pass of them, allowing them to come to you and say, can you be on this project again? You keep taking on extra assignments when you can say, no, set those boundaries. But we struggle with that. And why do we struggle? Because of fear of disappointing others, worrying about job security, and the guilt of saying no. These three things are so hard for adults. Fear of disappointing others. Why are we afraid to disappoint others when it's pertaining to our well being? We have to take care of ourselves first. If we don't take care of ourselves, who's gonna do it? We have to be okay with identifying that it's okay to say no and not have to worry about our job security because we set those boundaries. If I know my plate is full today, if my supervisor or my coworker come to me and try to ask me if I can assist them in any way, I'm gonna have to say no, not at this time because my plate is already full. And as adults, we shouldn't feel any type of way about saying someone telling us that they're not able to assist us right now. I may be able to tell them if I get if there's a project you may need assistance with next month, 2 weeks from now, and if I'm able to assist you in any way, I'll be glad to support them. That would be my choice. But if I can't help them today, it should be okay that I can't help them at this present time. And I shouldn't feel bad about it. They shouldn't feel bad about it. We should be able to go on and get what we need done throughout our daily schedule. And once again, no guilt around saying no. We told you in the previous episode, no is a complete sentence, and it's okay to say. But here's the truth. When we set boundaries, you're not shutting people out. You're giving yourself space to show up more fully. You can be present more fully. If you get off at 5 o'clock, hopefully at 5 o'clock you leaving work at work, and when you get home, if you're married and have kids, you should be able to enjoy your home fully, be present with your family, your wife, your husband, your kids. They know when mom or dad home, they're gonna be present. They ain't got to worry about mom. My mama she gonna be home today, but she probably still gonna be working. The kids want to feel their parents, want to feel the presence of their parents in the home. So, practical examples: turning off work notification after hours. Honey, I have no problem with turning that phone off, setting it on do not disturb, or cutting those email notifications off so I don't have to hear it. I can respond tomorrow morning when I get to work. Scheduling focus time on your calendar so you're not always available. Once again, we so many people love to wear these hats, these fix-it hats that they want to be so ready and available to everyone, to their no earthly good, to themselves, and then to their home, to their families at home. We had to set those focus times. saying I can't take this on right now, but I can help you next week. Didn't I just say that? I just said that. So let's reflect for a little bit. Now that we talked a little bit about burnout and boundaries, let's reflect. Where in your work life are you consistently overstanding yourself? So this is a moment of self-awareness right now. So let's identify where in your work life are you consistently overstanding yourself. Next question is, what boundary could you set this week to protect your energy? So we're going to be looking at how we overstanding ourselves and what boundaries that we can set to protect your energy, your peace on the job this week. That's a good start. Boundaries are not selfish, they're sustainable. Without them, burnout comes much faster. So we understand that how burnout can occur and how setting boundaries can eliminate burnout. So let's talk about balance. Now, balance doesn't mean giving equal attention to everything every single day. That's impossible. Balance is about alignment. It's about living in a way where your time, your energy, and your values connect. Let's say that again. Balance is about alignment. It's about living in a way where your time, energy, and values connect. People, your time is important. Where you spend your time, who you give your time, and who you surround yourself. Are you spending your time in a negative outlet where people just pulling on you and nobody's in um, pouring into you? Are you always giving out and nothing's coming in return? You just depleting yourself. So your time, energy, and values are connected. Think of it this way. If work is constantly taking the majority of your time, but family, rest, and creativity are your real priorities, imbalance will show up as frustration, guilt, and emptiness. Let's say that again. If work is constantly taking majority of your time, but family, rest, or creativity are your real priorities, imbalance will show up as frustration, guilt, and emptiness. How often, when burnout has hit you, you probably didn't know why you're so frustrated, feeling guilty for saying no, feeling empty inside because everything has become chaotic because you have not set balance and boundaries. So let's look at some tips to cultivate balance. We helping each other today. Redefine success. Is success only about promotion and income, or does it include health, peace, and joy? Redefine success. Is success only about promotion and income, or does it also include health, peace, and joy? See, promotion and income is wonderful, but so often people allow the love of money become the root of all evil. You start chasing the dollar and just become a workaholic to now your health bad, you ain't got no peace, and you ain't got no joy. And if your health bad, you ain't got no peace and no joy. What the money gonna do? Ain't none of that's gonna make you happy if all this is off whack. Health, peace, and joy. So let's redefine success. I'm gonna know how to manage it. If I get a promotion and income, I'm gonna set them boundaries and cut off after 5. Work is work and home is home. And I can still have health, peace, and joy. Schedule your values. If family time matters, protect it like you would a meat. Ooh, schedule your values. It said it's family time matters. Protect it like you would a meeting. And in the meeting, you just can't be just do anything. That's an agenda. We know what we want to do in this meeting. You just ain't gonna get in there and just be doing anything in the meeting. So it says protect it as if it was a meeting. So if you're not going to allow any and everything going to happen in the meeting, why are you going to allow somebody to come in and determine how your family life going to be? You're going to allow work to dictate how your family life going to be. You're going to allow work to run over. You get off at 5, but you still working to, you get home still working to 10, 11. Ain't really seeing your family. Balance. That's balance. The other one is embrace seasons. Some seasons will require more work, others more rest. Balance doesn't mean perfect equality, it means intentional choices. Oh, they talk. This is good. Embrace seasons. It says some seasons will require more work, others more rest. Balance doesn't mean perfect equality, it means intentional choices. So you got to know what season you're in. But it needs to be intentional, the choice that you make. Because when my body tells me I need a rest, rest. Take those time off. Use those PTO hours. Use your vacation time. So let's reflect. If someone look at you, if someone looked at your weekly calendar where they see what matters most to you. Example, imagine a professional who used to love painting but hasn't touched a brush in years because of work. Reintroducing just one creative hour per week could shift the sense of balance. So they're saying if you just take some time, whether it be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour per week, just to reintroduce yourself to your creative side, to shut down, cut yourself off, reset. It's okay to do that for yourself. It really is. So today, we have explored 3 pillars of mental health at work. So that was burnout, knowing the signs before it consumes you, boundaries, protecting your energy without feeling guilt, balance, creating alignment between values and time. So, my challenge for you this week is simple. Pick one small step each from each category. Maybe it's recognizing where burnout is showing up at in your life. Maybe it's setting one boundary, like shutting down your laptop at a consistent time. Or maybe it's adding back one activity that brings you balance and joy. Remember, your worth is not measured by how much you produce. is measured by the fullness of your life, your relationship, and your well being. Let me say that again. Your worth is not measured by how much you produce, it's measured by the fullness of your life, your relationships, and your well being. So I want to say, guys, thank you for joining this episode of Wellness Wednesday. And if this conversation spoke to you, share it with a friend, colleague who might need it. And don't forget to take care of yourself, because when you do, you bring your best self to everyone else. Until next time, I'm Iris, reminding you your mental health is just as important as your productivity. Thank you.